At this point, Final Fantasy XIV can't surprise me anymore, with its twists, its turns, but I will say there are certainly unexpected things that happen from time to time, and they are generally never something that I'm prepared for.
Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts.
In my journey through A Realm Reborn, I came across possibly the most shocking moment in my playthrough thus far of this game. And it came at a time that I was sure was going to be our victory. It was not, and here's what happened. We continue the journey with Alpha Nope and Sid the Protein King back in Gridania, where we are trying to figure out how to make our airship capable of flying into the deadly vortex of Garuda, the biggest, baddest primal there is. It turns out that somehow the Ixal have been able to summon her, and the current plan is to kill the biggest bad, and it will stop the other beast tribes from continuing summoning theirs, because if you walk into a prison and pop the biggest, baddest guy there, you're probably going to get your ass kicked by, like, his gang of 20 other primal buddies. I mean, I'm just saying, let's be realistic here. Well, Alfred comes up with the idea to get a corrupted crystal that would basically allow the Enterprise to fly without being controlled by the evil Wind Lady's gas blasts. Sid suggests us to talk to a professor named Lamborghini. Actually, I tried to read his name like 5 times and I gave up. Lamborghini in Camp Drybones to figure out the best course of action. Well, we talked to this fancy car and he says that we should meet up with his student Haha Sako, but Galactic has different plans for me. He decides it's time for me to try another optional dungeon, so here we go. To unlock this, we have to go to Olda and we see this massive tribute to Akira Toriyama, who has recently passed. The whole joining of the community to pay proper respects to a legend for all that that creator of Dragon Ball Z has brought to the world is actually impressive. It's not the first time, actually, that I've heard this from the Final Fantasy XIV community. I've seen where major actors or public figures have passed and they have gone to give tribute here in Olda and elsewhere. This is actually a really nice thing to see from the community. It's not gonna lie, I really enjoyed it. We eventually get the right quest to go out to Cutter's Cry because many adventurers have gone into this hell and have not returned, so they chose to dose up with the Caffeine King, baby! Oh damn it, they got nothing but ants. Never mind, I hate this dungeon. I hate ants, bugs, ugh.
Not this time.
Well, I'm joined by Lucky Thoth the Monk and one of my longtime channel followers, Stoic, who is playing as a bard in this. And while this dungeon is being creepy, I actually think it's pretty interesting because it has like these different levels and tiers and you jump into quicksand to get down to a different level. As I'm working with the group to dig down deeper, we get all the way through this entire dungeon of ants and large worms and bugs, and of course, the final boss is a chimera, a lion goat dragon with a scorpion tail. But of course, that would make sense. I am just going to say out of curiosity, why the hell is it a lion and why is he so buff? Like, they couldn't add any more anatomically correct muscles. I don't think he's anatomically correct. He's like 95% chest, like, damn dude, chill. You got legs, work them too. I actually thought this boss was pretty neat because he has like the different heads that have different abilities and they get spammed while you are fighting and they're like different targeting reticles and cones. And you have to attack and dodge while each one of the heads is doing something different. I thought this was pretty cool in my mind. Well, we killed the big bad thing and we win, yeah. Getting back to our quest to find the corrupt crystal, we meet this Lalafell who's contemplating flying or something. This is a student of Professor Lamborghini and honestly looks like a little Thancred, not gonna lie, from the science. He sends us to the middle of these falls, but like these crystal formations are all over the damn place and the map doesn't let you jump. I know that my knees are immortal from falling from any height, but like, damn, why are you limiting my style, Yoshi P? We get to the crystal after about like 15 minutes of mazing around. We bring it to the fanciest Lalafell who says, ooh yeah, that's the crystal. Take it to Professor Lamplighter. Why did I have to show that to you? Why not just let me go straight to... Pointless. Anyway, it turns out that the crystal I broke my legs for isn't right, and he basically says, but hey, it's for the betterment of science, you tall asshat looking bitch. Well, we ricochet all the way out to Lenolska, and we talk to one of his students, who is another expert of crystals. She says that there's a little island not too far away from where we are that could perhaps harvest a crystal or two that could help us in our journey. Okay, I'm down. But what do we have to do? Well, first we have to pronounce the town name right. Faras Sirius. Far Sirius. Sirius Black. Siri, call the Pharaoh. Who comes up with these names, really? Who doesn't? Who do I blame? They're killing me with these shenanigans. Well, we talked to a few guards around here because everyone is antsy about the Isles of Umbra, where this town is. Apparently, it's full of death and more death. So guess who's coming to fix that, baby? Your resident fire hydrant has arrived. Well, we surmise that, much like a necromancer's birthday party, it is infested with undead. Burnt Sienna here starts getting scared about having to deal with it. Well, she does the quote-unquote reasonable thing. She dismisses these talks of spirits as nothing more than local folklore. Lady, like, what is the deal? I have killed a burning god, a chicken nugget, and a late 90s emo band boy lover. What is the big deal? We talked to one of the prisoners who came from the Isles, and apparently he's talking about going back to her. He needs her, and he needs to get out to get her. Well, let's be serious, dude. She left you for a reason. I mean, you're a gem. You're an absolute brick house. You can definitely find a better woman for you. If she doesn't want you, it's her loss. We bribed the angriest Lalafell in the world to cart us over to the spooky archipelago. I have to say, I have the biggest confusion dealing with this pure piss and vinegar Lalafell, but we convinced Sienna to join us onto the Death Islands. As soon as her boots hit the sand, she makes a run for it. Like, girl, I'm the warrior of light with a built-in espresso machine. What more do you need? Also, the map says that Ailport and here are only like 100 yards away. Like, why is this such a big deal, you nerds? Well, we go and talk to David with a Y, and he basically says, sorry, Chief, I can't open the gate. Apparently, they were trying to repair this lighthouse, but they're not having any work done because of all these ghosty rumors. Well, he makes a deal with us. Figure out what the mystery of the ghosts are, like Scooby-Doo and the gang, and I'll be able to get you a chunk of this crystal. We talked to some adventurers who had a few run-ins with the dead and something of an alluring voice. We're near a ship-sailing town, pirates, and an alluring voice. Anyone else thinking siren? Well, we get back to David with a Y, and he's sweating profusely. And now we find out that the angry pirate Lalafell, who curses every other word, is coming to the islands because we're taking too long. He starts out bitching about how long it's been taking, and then he goes on to about how Elzins somehow look like giraffes. Then he confirms that there is in fact a siren that is luring the people to their deaths, and she raises them from the depths to be her thralls. He also says hussy, which I find quite hilarious. Well, Mimosa says, you know what we're going to do? We're going to deal with this right here and now. And then we have a very relaxing and romantic hangout by a fire on the beach, looking out at the waves. I mean, if all he wanted was a date, I mean, I'm free some evenings. I'm just saying. Well, after what seems to be a long waiting time for Mimosa here, Caffeinated waits patiently for the moment to strike, and out of the waves we see, well, to be honest, a scantily clad siren playing a harp. Are we going to talk about how much skin is being shown here? Caffeinated's eyes burn with the intense rage to remove such an unholy wench from our sight. I say, all right, let's go ahead and pull out the axe. She's evil. Mimosa straight up runs away. Okay, fine, date's over. Well, we take on a procedurally generated army of skeletons while she sings at us from a distance. Don't worry, baby, the helmet is soundproof and it stays on the whole time. We beat down all the skelly boys that spawn and then phase out of this whole ass beach party that is happening while everyone's dancing and jumping, waiting for me to appear again. Mimosa comes back and is like, yay, we did it. I'm sorry, we? Who leaves on a date after only a few hours of stone cold silence? Rude? Well, we talked to David with a Y, and he is excited that we have cleansed the evil bee, and now gives us a crystal. We need to show Sienna back in town. After all that work, we found that the crystal is good for countering fire aether, not ice. Lampert's students are full of crap. I'm just saying. Well, there is one last crystal student that we got to go and talk to in Gridania. Guys, get your shit together. I can't keep solving all of your problems everywhere we go and doing the world a great deal of justice as the warrior of light all the time. We get to the student and he's like a total dweeb. He reiterates the line, no action in the name of science is ever truly wasted. Dude, I cannot tell you how badly I want to push you into this river right here. Well, he says that the Spriggans in the area eat crystals like rock candy, and it would be our best bet to go out there and lure the biggest, baddest one who ate the potential crystal that we need. So if I'm to understand this guy correctly, we have to go and kill a Spriggan, whatever the hell that is, to get a crystal that's in his colon. Really? Inside his colon. Why, Yoshi P? Why do I have to deal with Spriggan poop? I get to the bottom of this giant pit where the Spriggans live because it's frickin' bunnies. I have to dig through bunny poop. This game is going to make me go insane. Well, we summon this delightfully acrobatic bunny, easy peasy, and digging through his intestines, we find the corrupt crystal. That was tough to say. We get back to this hidey-ho student with the corrupted poop-covered crystal, and he tries to pull a fast one and says, we got a great earth crystal, not an ice crystal. Dude, Seriously, I am covered in bunny shit, killed a siren's army, and had to go on a date with a Lala Fell. Please, what other hells do I need to endure before you will let me win? We take the crystal to Sid for our airship, and he says, you smell like crap, but the crystal works. Yay. This means that it is time for us to approach the Howling Eye and deal with the big bad dubbed the Chicken Mom. Another primal to take down. Bring it on. Also, Sid starts having a really sentimental moment with me. The Silver Fox actually sounds exactly what I thought he would sound like.
There. She's ready.
Sam Riegel makes his move by placing his hand on the Protein King. CDG just screams internally, and then Alfie drops this line.
Prize. Engage.
What a dweeb. What a dweeb line. Well, we get into the air, and Caffeinated Dad gives the Force Mind read and hand gesture, and we get to see Sid's journey from when he was a little boy and grew up into the anime white boy hair. He talks about how him and his father don't get along, and we find out that the leader of the Darth Vader tribute band was there for him, mentoring him all along the way because his dad was not. Then Caffeinated Dad appears in a vision to talk about Folgers in his cup or something. He hands his coffee goggles and disappears into the night. Like, why do I look like the shiniest fire hydrant ever? Well, Sid snaps out of it and says CDG was light in the night for him. Wink. Like, I'm sorry, but what? Dude, I just came into this picture like a week ago. My ship only just arrived. Sid apparently has had a revelation and remembers everything. We get outside of Garuda's fort to access the Howling Eye, and we get told to crank those jams because this fight has a super banger. Primal fights thus far have been great for music, so I'm ready. Let's go. Let's get this on. We are greeted by the Harpy Queen, and she is really a thick chicken mama. She also vaguely looks like the siren. She talks about being super huge and such, and we see some of her Ixal and their little arms ready to go. Here we go. We're in a big boss fight. She drops the sickest beat I have heard in a very long time. Listen to this crank. We get into the fight, and it's actually not quite what I expected. I thought she would be bigger. There's no way that I can spin this to not be good for me. Well, she not only has some great mechanics, but the soundtrack just fits the intensity of this fight and everything we had to do to get here. We're hiding behind pillars to dodge wind blasts and everything else. This is absolutely awesome. Then she clears the platform and there is nowhere for us to run. The music starts going crazy and oh my god, this is fantastic. We get through her initial phase and she's like dying, but oh wait, guess what? She's actually not in trouble. She's perfectly fine. Her warriors start praying for her and she gains more power along with all the crystals that she ate up, meaning that there's like no way to kill her right now. Sid and Alfie are like, yeah, let's go stop them. But dude, that was your job like 5 minutes ago while I was fighting this hussy. Now you're gonna try to go and fix it? I was trying to get some chicken wings and y'all are just supposed to deal with the extras. What the hell have you been doing? Well, she tries to claim me as one of her thralls, but guess what, hussy? The Caffeinated Dad is already married to the Crystal Mama, you overgrown carnival dancer. Well, Caffeinated just summons the crystal out of her chest. Like, no fear, just crystal, give me crystal. Which is the last one that we needed. But she tries to pull out her trump card here, but not before Gaius shows up, the leader of the Darth Vader tribute band, just standing in the corner of a field. He basically says, bitch, is that all you got? And then she sends her followers to go kill Gaius, who plays possibly the strongest magic card I have ever seen in this game. And it's called Gun. Well, Garuda gets pissed and sacrifices the followers of the other two primals we've already killed and summons Ifrit and Titan in one swing of her wings. Now the field is populated by 3 primals who are now completely surrounding us and all the big bads that we had to kill. Just because I'm the shiniest of all the tin cans doesn't mean I don't want to deal with y'all shit again. Gaius yells at his airship and it drops what can only be described as a Mecha Godzilla Centaur. Oh shit, this is intense. He grabs Ifrit and just absorbs him by strangling him, just summons him. Then our chicken nugget, who gets snatched up like a seagull eating a french fry and then stares down our chicken wing lady. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet, baby! Garuda tries to fly off, and then this thing straight up has lore-accurate LeBron James vertical leap and just snatches her out of the sky. Garuda screams, and then Icon eats her face like some kind of hellish praying mantis. Holy damn, what the hell? Well, now it can fly, because why the F wouldn't it? Lala Bread laughs about being allergic to gluten. Sid gives us a bit of the background of what's going on, and Alfie makes the dumbest line of all. All is not lost yet, my friend. We bear the light and shall surely lead our people from darkness. That's the optimism of youth. Well, we skedoodle back to the Waking Sands because we need to rebuild the Scions and check in on some things. But we open the doors here to see Reverse Pants. She's okay! Oh, thank goodness. I legit was worried about her and Papa Meow. That's basically it. Chad also takes this time to make a comment about Caffeinated Dad Gaming being completely nude under the armor, but like, are they wrong? I asked one question about Yida taking off her mask, and chat goes wild. Everyone starts panicking, like, damn, I get it. It's a spoiler. I won't ask about it again. Caffeinated Dad also gets a dream of Crystal Mommy, and we find out more about La La Bread and about him being the avatar of shadow and death. British Cat Lady smashes through the door, and now we have a plan to get the Scions back. Turns out Daddy Gaius is trying to figure out the Echo and use it against us. I got some new armor and accidentally color it hot pink. That's the plan. Well, we have our level 45 warrior quest ready to go, so we head off over to Curious Gorge, and he's excited because he feels that there's a way that we can get the ancient armor of warriors, and we are in luck. We have to go off to a bunch of random places. First one's in Korthos, one's in Camp Tranquil, and the other one's north of the Waking Sands. Honestly, we fight a bunch of just giant random creatures, but here we go. Let's get that sweet, sweet armor. Once we completed our task and got back to Curious Gorge, he gives us the whole set. And like legit, these are all giant upgrades. He also informs us that there's another last piece of armor that we have to go and get in. It's under a waterfall. Again, dude, this guy and his waterfalls, jeez. Once we get back and he informs us there's another quote unquote last piece. And I'm like, dude, why couldn't this just all be consolidated into one quest? Like, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, we fight this giant troll, and then Curious Gorge shows up and straight up says that we can't have the armor now. He can't entrust it to an outsider. Back at the waterfall, he then reiterates, I don't think you got it in you. You won't survive. Well, dude, I'm not like level 50, but I mean, I've killed a couple of gods or two. Like, damn, you have to be mean. And then Galactic tells me that he has other plans. Because I'm not level 50 to get the next quest, he says, let's go off to try out this tough dungeon called Aurum Vale, and it should give me the experience to hit level 50. Apparently, this is like a mineral heaven, but an absolute hell for most people and creatures. We grab a group and Galactic heals again with his Sage, and we are joined with a Dragoon and a Summoner DPS. This dungeon overall actually is not a joke. Good gracious, things are chunking me out here. Galactic lets me die in about 0.5 seconds because I asked what his AoE heal was. Like, damn it, Galactic. Well, we strategically pull a few of these mobs and get to the first boss, and it appears that I keep getting stacks of this dot, that once I hit a certain point, it ends up chunking me too much that they can't out-heal it. This is actually insane. Well, I also didn't do the mechanics and didn't eat the fruit. I had to position the boss away from everyone, and I think at one point I accidentally clipped Galactic as he was running by, so that one's on me. We try again and we do the mechanics and it's no problem. We beat the boss. I actually kind of like this dungeon because it shows that the game can be scaled to be a bit more difficult than what I was given. Like, I don't just go in and cruise through everything. It's, you know, moderately challenging. I rotate cooldowns to help out with Galactic's healing, and of course ABCs of Final Fantasy XIV, which is always be casting. We get to the next boss, which is Coin Counter, as hilarious as that is, which seems to be a giant ogre that shoots lasers out of its eyes, and has a bunch of swinging, beefy club attacks. This is kind of cool. Alright, well, our team dies to a bunch of AoEs because they failed to move, and it's just me and Galactic left. Honestly, that would have been fun. We get the win, but this kind of made me laugh. Like, just like, why do y'all keep dying? We push through some of the tougher mobs to get to this ugly-ass tentacle monster at the bottom called Miser's Mistress. What kind of name is that? Really, really weird thing, but hey, you know what? I get my face pushed in by a bunch of these hard-hitting hits and swings, but I do make sure to dodge the abilities and eat the fruit when need be. After a few minutes, we get the Victory Arm Swing and we hit level 50. Before I go off and take on the finale of the Warrior quest line, Galactic wanted me to see his home. And I'm not gonna lie, this place is pretty nice. He tells me that it's an Ishgardian household that has tons and tons of cool little features and design. Also, the fact of the house is that it cost 50 million gil, and the decorations were probably another 10 million. Because, like, money doesn't mean a thing. Honestly, I look forward to eventually getting my own house with my own private place, and that I can, like, decorate and change things around. Probably investing in about like 25 coffee machines, one for every 10 by 10 square footage, but I digress. I also leave him a note to remind him that he left his water running and curious about how the eggs on those plates over there are actually still steaming. Make that make sense to me. Back at our waterfall, we talked to Gorgy Boy, who says that we have an even bigger problem now. The beast that was demolishing a nearby village has been sighted again and it's wreaking havoc. Here I go, trying to save people without even really trying. Well, Curious Gorge makes a statement that he will be the one to save the people so that people won't think that he is some type of animal, which, dude, I already think you kind of are anyway. Like, who cares what they think? We fend off some wild creatures and I get to town to see this angry road again with glowing red eyes and the best mustache ever standing over this little girl. Well, it turns out to be Gorge's brother who is just angry. angry, and Gorge just slaps the shit out of this dude like no one's business. And then his eyes turn red. Someone's spicy now. Oh shit, let's throw down, you romantic water-loving cutie. He demands that I give him the armor, and I say, no, not doing that. Well, this fight is far less dramatic than I thought it was going to be. I ended up kiting him and collecting these little orby things as I beat George down from a distance with Tomahawk. He says, "You're the chosen one," and gives me the rest of his armor, and also his brother isn't dead, just knocked out. Don't worry. Everyone is just always sleeping. We meet one last time under the waterfall, and he gives me the total set of the warrior armor. I try on the armor, and hot damn, look at this. Galactic really implores me to raise the visor so at least we could see my face, but as I've said a number of times throughout many videos, the helmet stays on. Anyway, let's talk about this step into the Final Fantasy XIV journey. So we are going on a wild goose chase to be able to hunt down the crystals to fight the big winged chicken lady, only for her to basically get one-shot by a Mechagodzilla centaur. That is one of the weirdest statements I think I've ever made about any video game. What was beautiful about this is that the cinematic cliche of power level being displayed, we gave it our all against Garuda and her shenanigans, only for another big bad to come in and completely one-shot. This has kind of set the stage for what I'm guaranteeing is going to be the final climactic battle of A Realm Reborn against the giant icon machine. The story even got more interesting because we see a bit of the backstory of Sid and his journey leading up to it, and also reuniting with the other Scions who were not located in Reverse Pants and British Cat. What I loved is the fact that it basically slew a primal despite the Scions being completely decimated. That's pretty cool, that even we were still able to do our job despite being even more hampered. Now, I know moving forward, since the primal business is behind us, we are going to take down the giant-ass tin can, but seeing how things progress with the story, it still has quite a few twists and turns ahead of me, and I'm excited to see it. If you missed the last episode where I took down a Heresy Ring and slew an emo boy band dragon, you can catch that recap right here. Otherwise, stay caffeinated, folks.